Welcome to another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall and the DMV. Um, had death in the family, so I want to give a little moment of silence and my prayers out to the Green family. Prayer goes out to rest in peace to Pop Reg. Today, when times like uh, death come upon us, um, we have family members who also have uh, real estate and business that needs to be taken care of. The question we ask today is, what is probate? What is probate? Let's talk about it. Are you wondering how to handle the property of a deceased relative? You may be initiating the process of a probate. If somebody dies with, with or without a will, there's a legal process to oversee the transfer of ownership. The process is known as probate. Probate is when the court oversees the transfer of the legal title of a property from the deceased estate to the beneficiaries. It can be complex, stressful process for families, often requiring legal and professional guidance. Probate is when the court, well, we just went over that part, but these are the things that we're going to discuss. As part of the probate process, you need to prove the will is valid to the court. Appoint a legal representative to act on behalf of the deceased. Identify the deceased property and have it appraised. Pay any debts and taxes. Distribute remaining property or profits if you sell the property according to the will. Is probate necessary? Well, does all property go through probate when a person dies? Simple answer is no. Probate is not always necessary. So when is probate necessary? The heirs of the deceased may decide to open probate for three reasons. There are debts owed. There's the need to set a deadline for creditors to file claims. There's a property transfer. Is a note that the probate process facilitates the distribution of estate's property to the heirs. When is probate not necessary? Some states also have different requirements when it comes to finding probate estate, which refer to any property subject to the authority of the probate court. Very often, certain assets are defined as non-probate estate. For non-probate estate assets, probate is not necessary. Different states define probate versus non-probate estates differently. The necessity of probate often depends on the state the deceased resided in. Is there a cost of probate? Probate costs are set by each state's law and usually make up of at least 4% to 7% of the total estate value. These costs of some of the following: appraisal costs, executors' fees, court filing fees, certified copies, costs for surety bond, insurance policy, legal and accounting fees. In addition to these predicted costs, if someone contests the will, this process can incur an additional thousands of dollars in litigation costs. Costs of probate should be considered by heirs when determining whether probate is necessary. These costs are essentially deducted from the final total distribution amount to the deceased heirs. When the option presents itself based on specific situations, types of estate, the cost of probate can be a reason to avoid probate if it is not necessary. So, is there a timeline for probate? Similar to the cost of probate, the timeline for probate is dependent on state law. Many states say that the probate must be completed within 1 year from the date of the appointment, unless federal or state taxes filed. Filing of the federal tax typically extends the initial timeline. What can delay that timeline? Several unavoidable circumstances can delay the timeline for a typical probate process. The appointed administrator or executor of the estate is the cause for delay. In this case, the court can rule to appoint new representative to aid in the process of completion. There are unforeseen and unavoidable delays in the probate process, such as delays in the sale of property or delays in the heirs' review of certain documents. The will can be contested as in claim filed with the court that all or part of the will is invalid. The size or complexity of the estate can take extra time. Who is in charge of the probate process? In probate, it's important to have an authorized representative or executor of estate. In some cases, the will defines the person. In other cases, the court appoints the deceased closest relative as a representative. If the deceased left no will, and the estate administration process must go through the probate court. The court may appoint an administrator to manage the probate process. The executor does not have to be a financial or legal expert in any way. However, the executor must assume fiduciary duties, which include having reasonable judgment and care when making decisions on behalf of the deceased. Once appointed, the executor or administrator is responsible for managing the estate, ensuring the wishes of the deceased are fairly met, distributing access to remaining beneficiaries, following probate rules of court and procedures. Most people don't know about the probate process until family circumstances force them to learn about it. It's common for probate process to be complicated, especially when left without a will. If you find yourself unexpectedly involved in probate and considering the sale of the property, make sure to hire an experienced local realtor with years of experience guiding clients. Folks, one of the most important things about this process or getting involved in this process is that you want to make sure that you have good, solid resources around you. And one of the things that I've been working on throughout the years is creating those type of resources. You never know. What you don't want to do is already be stressed out about having a responsibility of taking on this task as the executive or even as other family members that help. But a lot of time we have a house full of items that may need to be removed. And this is whether you sell the property or not. You have things in there that you want to sell or remove. The grass and other things still need to be cut. There's other resources, representatives that you may want to reach out to get help. And because it's not always about selling the property, you could be looking at trying to pull it together and put it in a condition where you can move in or family member can move in, or you're thinking about renting it out and keeping it in the family. So it's always important when you get into this situation to make sure you look for uh, resourceful folks that can help you in this manner with and help guide you with some of the right resources that you actually need. So if you ever need to have any questions at all in regards to probate and estates and any of those things, please reach out to me because we have some good folks that we're actually connected with that can help with that information. This is my short information for today. This was on my heart to actually speak about because one of the things we gotta have some understanding of exactly what happens when somebody passes away, and especially if they have property and other things that need to be taken care of. So what we don't want to do is be in the dark about how to start and work on that process because it can be very confusing, stressful, and it's something that most people don't even think about until it's time. And I think you just having a little bit of the information can prepare folks so that when the time comes, it's not as stressful as it can be. So I want to thank you again for taking time out to check out Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall and the DMV. And if you have any questions, leave the questions in the comment or reach out to me. My information is in the description as well. I want to thank you again for signing on and another Hump Day. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Talk to you soon.